Healthy Scratch Red Wings Report, presented by 5v5hockey.com.
Welcome back to the Healthy Scratch Red Wings Report. Today, we're going to continue our 2022-2023 player profiles, where we go through every player's regular season statistics, their advanced stats, their contract situation, and where they fit going forward. Let's talk about our German stud, Mo Seider. Seider had an interesting season this year, obviously coming off his Calder Trophy win as Rookie of the Year. He played every single game, 82 games, 5 goals, 37 assists, 42 points, minus 11, 40 penalty minutes, 23 minutes of ice time. So he led the team in ice time, which he should. He's out there in every single situation. Moritz Seider started the season playing with newly signed at the time, Ben Chiarot. And I think we all know how that went. And about halfway through the season, he was switched up and played with Jake Wallman. And we also know how that went. Now, keeping that in mind, we're going to look at his advanced stats. So when we look at this, his projected wins above replacement is lower than last year. He was about a 95 percentile last year. This year, 73%. Still above average for sure. Into that, great. I would say around 75%, you'd be great. Why is it a little bit lower this year? I think it's because, and I wish I could find the chart where it shows the defense pairings. I see it on Twitter all the time. Seider and Chiarot were one of the worst pairs in the league. When Seider went and played with Wallman, they were one of the best. When Chiarot went down and played with Filip Hronek, guess who started to suck? Filip Hronek. And we still sold high on him, so thank God. But when we talk about Ben Chiarot later on in some of our profile videos, we'll break down what happened with him. Speaking with Mo Seider, I think that's kind of what happened. Turned the season around in the second half. Now, he obviously didn't score as many goals, but we're not really counting on him to score. But 46th percentile offensive for defenseman is pretty average. Even strength defense, this is where he shines. And he's an elite defensive defenseman in regards to playing in his own end. On the power play, he's above average as well at 64 percentile. Penalty kill was very, very bad this year. Now, again, is that something to do with the Red Wings penalty kill? I think we already were talking about how I think it was Larkin was actually a very, very low percentile on the PK as well. So that might be intertwined. Finishing, I mean, percentile, 26 percentile. I mean, I'm not really too worried about that for a defenseman. Now, I would love for Mo to hit at least 10, 11, 12 goals a year. That would be beautiful. But I don't think we've had a defenseman go that high since like Cronwall had like 15 or 18. I got to look up those stats, but we're not really looking at Mo Seider to be a goal scorer. We have other guys up front that should be doing that or will be doing that. The contract situation is he's on his entry-level deal, but he's going to get paid. And I think to project, and I would probably put money on this, I'm going 8-year contract, and he's probably going to make around what Dylan Larkin's making, if not more. Because for an elite defenseman like this, where he is now your number one defenseman at 21 years old, you pay the guy whatever it takes to keep him wearing the winged wheel. Because he's shown us already that his potential is through the roof. He plays offense, he's creative, he plays defense, he hits, he plays power play, will be better on the penalty kill, I hope. He kind of brings everything. And he is a dynamic player as well, playing against the top forwards on these other teams in a stacked Atlantic division. Very impressive statistics, and even just the eye test. We all know that Mo Seider has that it factor. So I will say you have to pay him. You're going to pay him more than $8 million a year. And if you think you're going to get him for less, I honestly think you're in la la land, because this is going to be the going rate. Mo Seider, I would say next year is going to get Calder votes. Like, he'll be in the top 15 defensemen in the league. That's something that I truly feel just watching the way that he's developing. He's in every situation. He's going to get better, and he's going to get more confident. How much more confident could you get from when he was a rookie? Like, this guy just oozes confidence. Going forward, he's the number one defenseman on this team. He's a right-hand shot. I think he's going to stick with Jake Wallman. I love how they played together. They're obviously both very creative. They make up for their own flaws. And he's going to be on the top power play, which I think he should be. He should be on the penalty kill. I hope he gets better with these advanced stats, especially penalty killing. And he'll be out there in every single situation. And I think when he's on the ice, when you see 53 on the ice, you should feel good about the Red Wings' chances of winning. So 23 minutes of ice time. He's out there for more than a third of the game. I think he's a guy that could probably get up to like 25, 26. I don't think they'll want to do that to him. Hopefully, going forward, you think about Seider, Wallman, Edvinsson coming up, Oli Mata signed for a few more years. You have a pretty decent core, and then a lot of these prospects, William Wallander and Albert Johansson, you can go down the list. Hopefully they can take a little bit of load off of Mo so that he doesn't have to do everything himself. Just like we were talking about Dylan Larkin. Seider is Dylan Larkin for our D-core. He's that important. I think eventually you're going to see an A on the guy's chest, and it might not be this year coming up, but once Perron is gone, I think that's something where you might see this guy go into a leadership role. Going forward, Mo Seider, elite, all-star. He's going to be top 15 in the league this year for defensemen.